Making her own sound effects since 1988.
Yeah, that's right, baby. 89. I'm 89, baby.
Yeah, well,
Not like
the
an old
overlap
ass.
goes back to the 88.
Not like an old ass.
I've been
88
making my
baby.
own sound effects since you were in the womb, bitch.
Yeah. True. You've been 32 for quite some time.
Yeah.
My time's coming.
Yes, it is. Dun, dun, dun.
That's kind of sad now to think I'm going to be like old as 32. But
Yeah,
I guess
you know
you've
what's
been
kind of
dealing
sad?
with
The
it.
fact that our fucking anniversary of when we graduated is coming up this year.
Yeah, we're going to be 10 years.
10 year, yeah.
Yeah, decade.
I guess the anniversary comes up every year, but you know what I'm saying.
The 10-year anniversary. And it's like we never even got our 10-year high school anniversary. We could do a 10-year college anniversary. We're old as shit. Yeah, when I realized that, I was like, it was like 1 a.m. and I was like, I'm having one more beer. I was like, I need to, like, I can't. I was about to go to bed and I was like, no, I need to fucking deal with this. Did you
assume you started recording?
No, did you? I was waiting to see if you needed to look anything up for trivia. Welcome to Glad You Game Pod. Did start recording. We got him.
I knew it.
Welcome to Fuck God You Game Pod Radio, where we just talk all the games all the time.
Welcome to Fuck.
We're the gaming sex podcast. We're a radio star. Bam! Give me that audio blast.
Can you wait till
you know it's like that
in the
guy from
podcast
Police
so people
Academy?
don't leave immediately?
Well, remember that guy from Police Academy that was like super good at like sound? That'd be
Yeah.
great if like you were him, because then like we could do stuff and you'd be like, but like noise. Yeah, like, but it sounds like cool, like a car door. Yeah, there we go. So we don't have to buy that like mixer.
Yeah,
that saves all of them. She's like, just do that sound. It's like.
We also don't have to have mixed.
No, I actually
sounds.
hate those things. They all bother. That's actually what I hate about radio. But I just thought people might get a little nostalgia. You know, it's early in the day, kind of. Not really. Actually, it's like 3.
Yeah.
We were. I love how our schedule is like recording every Sunday at 11 a.m. We have yet to be on time. We are always on time dropping the podcast. It has dropped consistently, which I'm actually proud of for like a pregnancy now, like 9 months. I think we've hit now, right? Something like that. Because May 27th or whatever is our 1 year. But
yeah,
we have.
I'm glad you gamed 9 months ago, and now we.
You're so glad I gamed. Now we have to deal with the outlets. Fuck. Good thing we didn't. Never mind. But that was going to go to a really dark joke that I was like, you know what? It was kind of getting me pissed off, and I didn't want people to rage quit. Similar to how Snoop Dogg rage quit. Let's talk about that. Look at that transition. So that'll be like,
I want to know how he sat through like a whole roast battle, and then it was like a 13-year-old that finally broke him.
Yeah. So if people don't know, he wanted the Snoop Dogg will sometimes live stream Madden 21. So he's getting on Twitch to live stream Madden NFL 21. So the latest one, and he rage quits about 15 minutes in. You can check the video out on YouTube. It's pretty funny. Freaks out after a touchdown happens and don't know what set him off. It was just maybe he didn't think he'd come back from it or whatever. Just like was done. The irony that the title of the stream is "Sit Back, Relax, and Chill." It's a vibe in here. That's the title of the stream. That he then rage quit and was like, "Fuck this shit." And there was thousands of viewers live. The video itself actually has over 100,000 views now, but live viewers was in the thousands.
Did he even like turn it off?
No. So what he did, he freaks out. He's like, fuck this shit or whatever. And like bounces, he grabs his hoodie and just walks across the room, grabs his hoodie, realizes what he's done. And then like, he's like, fuck this, and leaves. So then it's 7.5 hours later, he comes back in the room. And then that's when he comes and he goes back in the room to get his hoodie. So he forgot his hoodie for like 7 hours. And then you could see the realization on his face that it's still streaming. And then he goes and ends the stream. So it's like a 7.5 hour stream, but only 14 minutes of it is actually Snoop Dogg. The rest is just an empty room. Like, and it's hilarious. And it's just sit back, relax, and chill. It's a vibe in here.
I'm wondering what that chat room looked like, because that was probably magical.
Yeah, I wasn't on like live. I just saw like the reports about it, but that is fucking hilarious.
Was there like a betting pool that went up on one of the sites for how long it was going to be before he came back?
No, I didn't see anything like
Could have
that.
made some money on that.
That would have been great. Yeah, like till when will Snoop realize that that he like is still streaming? But that is just funny as shit. That he just rage quit that fucking thing, and the video itself is just funny as shit. I wonder if I play it, we can get the audio. I don't know. Is that like that music is MDMA? MDMA?
MDMA is a drug.
No, it's something like that. DCMA. Yeah. DCMA. I was close. It was like that's like dyslexia.
We're gonna get MDMA. I mean DCMA.
God, oh fuck! I just got MDMA. Now I'm touching everything. I mean DCA. No, DCMA. All right, but yeah. So that was. I mean, it's pretty fucking funny. It's like a 30. They have a Sky News aired the 30-second clip of him like rage quitting, which is like a European, like British, like CNN essentially, or Fox News maybe. I don't know. They're bullies, but it's just funny as shit. I would suggest one on YouTube because I think they kind of bleeped out the Sky News one. But it's like, I mean, it's like a 30, 45-second video of you just want to watch like this when it happens and then him just leaving. But it's also funny watching him come back and then just like turning it off. But yeah, it's just like his empty room, which is this green like room that he sits in. And it's just like funny as shit.
I've been watching way too much Watch People Die Inside compilations, and I feel like that needs to be one of them now.
Oh yeah,
just it's at least him coming back in and like, oh shit.
Yeah, but it's just funny. Like he realized it, but he's not like overly concerned. It's kind of like that's what happened.
Yeah,
it's just like it's just funny. Let me see if I can play it. Let's see if I can play it. I'll play it. Maybe I won't play it.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, here we go.
Is it coming through your computer? Or
it's gonna come through the computer, so we'll see if everybody else can get it. Hold up.
Point your mic at it.
Yeah. It's 21-0 now. $21-0 against Snoop. He thinks the stream is off. He's turned off his console and he thinks there's nothing on. That was it. That was the thing. So basically, he was losing 14-0. Big touchdown happens. He's losing 21-0. I assume he thinks he can't like come back from that. The first fuck is like when the touchdown happens. Then for audio viewers, I don't know if you could hear. You might be able to hear it a little bit. I tried to move the laptop closer to the mic towards the end, so you should have been able to hear the.
I mean, I could hear it. So
yeah. Hopefully, I don't get sued by Snoop, but
if anything,
these are all like. Like fuck man, fuck this fucking, and when he's like I can't like that. He thinks you can tell he thinks he's just by himself angry at that point, and like because he thinks when he hit turn off console the stream turned off because the stream is probably going through his computer, not his console.
How it works.
And well, if you're streaming through the console, it would be, but yeah, he must be streaming through. But that's just funny as shit. So it's like I'm sure we've all been there where it's like, oh, you think you're alone, but so we got to see this like he's all alone. And these are his private thoughts. And but the funny part is that's a normal reaction. You're getting your ass kicked to Madden or Chell or something. And like, I cannot come back from this deficit. Controller, but he definitely like, I mean, you heard him hit something.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fucking hilarious. But yeah, I don't know what that all is, but he has completed some online tournaments and stuff. So he has like played Madden before. It's not like he's new to it.
I mean, everyone has a bad day. That sounds like someone who's used to winning.
Yeah, like
whenever I lose, I'm like, well, there we go again.
No, that would be me and Chell, and I'm like, what the fuck? This fuck. Except I hate when I'm like up by like 5 goals in Chell and someone quits on me. Like I want to go to the end. I want to get 10. and I hate when people rage quit. So I make it. I've only ever done that like once or twice where I actually quit. Normally, even if I'm losing like 7-0, I stick it out to the end because then I'm like, I don't want you to get a shutout. My whole thing is not playing to win anymore. It's playing for the record. I have no big deal. Come back from 5-0 with like 5 minutes left. It's difficult, just like the Flyers overcame a 3-goal deficit the other day against the Pens. What up, baby?
Not talking about Saturday.
Yeah. No, yesterday they lost 4-3. But which is bullshit, but it's fine. We're still over them and the thing. We played tonight, so we'll be fine. I'm not worried about that. All right. Anyways, but it was just an incredible overcoming of deficit. It's something we have in common as excellent competition and athletes that the Flyers as a collective are, and myself. As everybody knows, so we can move from that. But yeah, it was funny as shit. But it was honestly, it was just funny for me to see a massive celebrity have a true, real gamer moment. Because every real gamer or whatever, you fucking have done that. Like, it doesn't matter if you were like 10 or like 38. Like, you have the thing where you think you're by yourself, or even if you don't think you're by yourself, the rage and emotion just overtake you, and you're like, fuck this, throw the controller. Love to see it. Hopefully you don't break the controller. He probably has enough money. You can buy a second controller, I'm sure. Snoop Dogg can afford a new controller, probably a whole new console. Probably. But and he was playing on an Xbox Series X in case everybody's actually curious. So, it is what it is. But yeah, it was just cool seeing a real true moment, because sometimes I feel like we see celebrities like have fake true moments where their PR people are like, oh, say this, and like seem like you're a real person when you're on like an interview show, right? Like, those are all canned interviews that make you feel like you give a shit more about the celebrity. But like live Twitch stream, getting your ass kicked in the game and just thinking it's off and like, fuck, man, motherfuck. It's like, that's right.
Yeah.
Let me see that. Right, and it's like, you know what, Snoop? Been there way more times than I've been there 3 times this week on fucking Valorant. So it's like, been fucking there. But anyways, that was just beautiful to see. It happened like a week ago, but I didn't want it to go unnoticed on this pod. So we had to talk about it. So that's our celebrity gossip of the week. We now have our e-news channel part. That's our what's that, TNN or 3NZ? TMZ. I got to it. I got to it. Yeah. Yes, I did get a haircut. Thank you very much, chat. If you're reading, no one's in the chat, but they are. You know what I'm saying? Sage can confirm there is a chat that said my hair looks great.
There is a chat. I can't read from here, but it looks empty. So
yeah. It's like it's empty with awesomeness. So anyways, sorry, we can't respond to that chat. We have more topics to talk about. So let's talk about something I think will actually be a quick topic, and then we'll go into the larger stuff. That's this happened a while ago. It was announced a while ago, but we finally got images, which is why I wanted to start talking about it. Is Halo TV series official? It's been official for a while, but we got to see the warthog and stuff in reality, which looks awesome. So they released a couple pictures of that, which looks pretty dope. Also, interesting enough, and this is kind of recent from like a week ago, it was a Showtime. It was a fully for Showtime, but now it's off Showtime and it's migrating to Paramount Plus, which is some bullshit.
Yeah,
because I have Showtime as part of the cable package that I have to keep because I like watch live sports, and they give you those free channels. And I was like, you know what? I'm never going to buy Paramount because it's the one streaming service I don't need to fucking buy, which is just recreating cable online.
Yeah, I just
now it's like
an ad for it this morning where it's like Paramount Plus, and I'm like, great, another fucking streaming service. And then the next line was like, not just another streaming channel. I'm like, yes, it is.
Yes, it definitely is. And so now it's produced by Showtime with 343 and Amberlin, which I always love Amberlin because that's Steven Spielberg's thing. And it's like, you love your ETs and all that. And Ready Player One. But yeah, so now it's migrated from Showtime to Paramount Plus, which like I need to watch the Halo show. So I'll probably like do one of those things where it's like I do the like $6 for the 1 month. I hope they just drop it all one day.
Yeah.
Not like the fucking Disney bullshit, which I do like. But I also like having the full drops too. If everything goes back to the one a week, it doesn't work. You need some stuff to binge, some stuff one a week. We need that variation.
Yeah.
But anyways, kind of bullshit. But anyways, it should be exciting. I mean, they've been talking about a Halo movie or Halo TV show for like 15 years. Pretty much since like Halo 1 and 2 were so successful. They're like, let's make this a show.
I am pretty bummed that Neil Blomkamp.
Neil Blomkamp, yes.
Yeah.
The guy, District 9 director is who you're talking about, right? Yeah. He did a couple of the commercials and stuff.
Yeah. Well, he also, like, a lot of District 9 was set to see if he could direct it.
Right.
And
that was
whole,
like his
final battle was like,
yeah, that was like the test if he could do like a high scale action like that, like could be Halo.
I thought that was freaking awesome. The last 15 minutes of that movie is badass.
Yeah, they just announced District 10 actually.
Yeah,
at least I know.
Yep.
Which, yeah,
but yeah, like it looked really good, and I was so excited for that to become something, and then it didn't.
Yeah, and like I feel like a lot of directors have been like attached to it on and off, and he was the closest one that was like, this is gonna happen. Then he had his whole Aliens, which is gonna be a direct sequel to Aliens, the second one, which would retcon 3 through, which was gonna be awesome. Hicks, Sigourney Weaver, Newt, all that. Because if you watch Alien 3, they kill them all in the opening shot. They died in cryo sleep, and it's like, oh yeah, so they went through all that hell and shit to overcome that great character development from 2 to literally just get essentially written off. Yeah, it's like, it's bullshit. That's just like fucking dumb. Yep. So everybody was all about that. Then Ridley Scott was an asshole and was like, no, I still own the property and I don't approve this. It's like, fuck you. We all wanted that instead of this dumbass Prometheus movie. So fuck off you. Anyways, not game related. There's Alien games, so that counts. So it filmed like 60% of the first season before the pandemic, and they're finishing up now. So I think it's like next year we'll get it. But it does suck that it's going to be the defining series for Paramount Plus, which I will be honest, it's a pretty good linchpin to have. Yeah. It's a pretty good, like,
it's almost, if not as good as having Mando for Disney Plus. The only difference is no one gives a shit about the rest of the stuff on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so yeah, well, exactly. But that's the thing. It's like every one of these gets their, like, HBO Max. I feel like it's going to be, HBO Max actually has a lot of good stuff, but those are all going to be the movies. Yeah. Like Godzilla, Mortal Kombat, Justice League, Snyder Cut, for the people who give a shit. I mean,
I am fully on board for there being a, like, bundling service, but cable. You pay for what you want, where cable, like, just doesn't do that. It's like, oh, you have to have all this package, all this package. And it's like, I don't want all that shit. Just give me the fucking 8 shows that I watch.
Right. But this is just recreating cable online. Now it's all the a la carte stuff. Yeah. You're going to have to buy everything.
Either way, I'm fine having stuff that isn't based around, like, it is fucking ridiculous that you pay for cable and then get aired commercials during it.
Right. But the problem is, that's how they pay for their shows. But because they don't get the cable,
doesn't pay for their shows by the fucking money that we pay them.
Yeah, but that's really more for the ISPs and the companies providing the cable, not the networks themselves, which is why they like these streaming, because they're cutting the cable. The problem is cable obviously realizes it, and that's why if you remove cable, it's like $10 off your bill, because the other $150 is really the internet, which is really what you need to watch all the streaming services shit. So it's like, I'm going to remove cable, and it's like, it's like $10 a month. Yeah. And it's like, well, then I still get live sports. That's why I keep it, because it's like, I would have removed it a long time ago. But then when I removed it, like looking at, like, for example, Comcast, it was like saving me like $8 to $10 a month. And I'm like, well, I watch live sports. Yeah. And so it's like, it doesn't make sense.
How much do you pay for your internet?
Like $200. But that's because we have like really fast internet. And then because of that, I get all the HBO Max for free.
Okay. All right.
So I have HBO with some shit. I have HBO Showtime and all that stuff as part of it. So it's like, I get that. And then because it's like, I would use the HBO Max and the Showtime Max subscriptions, which are like $15 a month, but it's like $8 for the bundle on cable. So, but you get the streaming services as a result of that. Okay. So it's like, all right, I'll do that. Like those. But then if I remove that, it's like $20 off the whole bill and the rest of the internet, because I have the Boost internet, it's like 180 itself. So it's like, it's not really saving me anything. So it's kind of like, well, I like, for example, Flyers and stuff, and I can't watch that live unless you have a cable access. So it's like, that's kind of bullshit. It's like, hey, everybody's like, cable cut. And I'm like, I can't. Like, there's no, and I don't even know how people can, because it's like, you're not saving any money. It doesn't even make sense. If anything,
I pay $40 a month.
Yeah, but you probably, what's your speeds? Like 50?
100.
Okay, yeah, so I'm like 600. And I
have to ever use 600?
Yeah, I like consistently, because remember, I have 32 devices connected to my internet at my house. and that includes two different
just
people.
Irresponsible on your part.
No, that's just I have the device I have, and we have like because we have multiple people playing video games at the same time. You need to make sure that lane. It's not like just one PS5 is playing. Then I wouldn't care. I would be like 100's fine because I'm the only person using stuff at one time. But because I'm not, it's like just doesn't make sense. But yeah, so like unless you do just the cable package and it's like you only have so many devices, like that kind of makes sense. But
now that I'm thinking of it, it might be 150. But either way,
yeah. Okay. So for the record, $40 to 150 is pretty fucking big difference.
No. 150 megabytes.
What the fuck? That I was like, you're now debating that, but yeah. So unless you're in a situation where you can just get that internet and like that number is fine with you, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So like, yeah, I fucking hate that. That's like the one thing I can't get over, and I can't. And I like you don't watch really live sports except maybe the rugby 7s or 6s or whatever.
And then I find somewhere.
But yeah, so like, but for me, it's like because I do, and like people will say it's dumb, but like anybody that really watches sports will agree that 15-second delay from streaming it to cable matters. Like it matters. Like for the games that matter, because like your phone vibrates, right? It's like Flyers 1-0 or whatever, not 1-0, Pens score, and then you're just like, my phone just vibrated. I know something happened, and now it's even more tense. And something you want to be part of that. It's just like people that care. I would love to be a person that did not care, but I can't change my identity. I just do. So it just is what it is. And other people, great, glad for it, but whatever.
I just fell off that bandwagon a long time ago, and I'm
right,
not one
which
of
is
those
like
guys anymore.
Right. My point is, I don't think I can do that, and that's fine. Because I actually initially wasn't one of those guys. Then I became one. So it's like I started on the opposite side, came to it. Well, long story short, now it looks like I'm gonna have to get Paramount Plus for at least a month.
You're just paying an epic amount for like stuff that.
But unless like they do the thing where it's because it is Showtime's, if they still connect it with Showtime, which I would get for free. Yeah. So hopefully maybe there's that kind of thing because some of these do that. Like Hulu, if you have Hulu and Disney Plus, you can kind of like get them cheaper or like free with the cable thing. So they are doing some stuff like that. So it's like, well, for example, HBO Max, I don't pay for the streaming service, even though that's what I use because I have HBO on the cable. So, and because I have Showtime for the same thing, maybe I'll get Paramount Plus because if they're producing the whole Halo thing, they might still do the thing where it's like on 2 networks. There's another couple of shows that do that where it kind of airs in multiple networks. So hopefully that's still a thing because I think both their parents Viacom, which is like can just go anywhere.
I also love that I tried to give you 2 segues into our next topic.
No, I know, but I wanted to round it out because I also wanted to bring it back that like either way. Well, yeah, but also I want to round back because either way, I think we'll finally get the Halo that we wanted. Hell yeah. I think that's the important thing. Like, because it sounds like they put a shitload of money behind it, and people thought it was gonna be like a movie. But if you watch TV shows nowadays, WandaVision is a perfect example. They give them like the same budget a Marvel movie would have had. It's just like here, you disperse it over 9 episodes. But it's like we'll give you like almost $150 million budget, and instead of a 2-hour movie, you almost get like 4 hours. But it's like episodic. That seems like what Halo did, and it's like you get a movie budget, but then you get more character development stuff. You don't always need a big fight scene, but you have the money to do that when it's needed, which would be sweet. Yeah. So I think this is gonna be a great show, and I think. Or better, the fact that it's been on and off. Like this thing has been approved and denied for like 10 years now, maybe 15. It has to hit. Like this has to hit. This cannot be Halo Infinite being like, we're not launching with Xbox Series X. We got to get another year. This has to hit season 1, or else it's like a pretty big fuck up. Because it's like, dude, you have 15 years to get this right. It's like Avatar 2. Like James Cameron doesn't have an excuse. He's like, it was rushed. Be like, no, it wasn't.
No, it was not.
No, it was not.
You got 10 years to do that.
Right.
Shit.
So it's like, hey, we waited. You guys did it. Fucking nail it. Because like, as much as we give shit to Xbox, like I love Halo. Yeah. So it's like, I want this to be incredible.
Yeah. Halo's another just perfect game for what it is. It hits all the things.
And it's like unique, and it almost gives you nostalgia when there was no previous Halo. It was kind of like, because it kind of does have a lot of like Aliens-esque, like building stuff. And they like, especially with like the Colonel in the beginning and stuff, he's just like the Colonel from Aliens. It's like, all right, you assholes, let's go. So it's like, it draws on all that kind of stuff, and it's just very well done. It's good shooting, good mechanics like Destiny is, but it has a fun overarching story that you get invested in. Yeah. And now it is a franchise tentpole of, I mean, Xbox does not exist without Halo, period. Like Halo drove Xbox. Just like I'm guessing what they want Halo to drive Paramount Plus, because it's like, hey, it's fucking some things do that. I mean, to be honest, Mandalorian is the reason why Disney Plus kind of worked initially.
Yeah.
Everybody got it because Mandalorian, not because of whatever. And now it's got WandaVision, but Mandalorian, everybody held for the first year. That was it. And it was like, that's the reason you were there.
Yeah.
Like, if why I had it was 100% only the Mandalorian, that was it. And then it's like, now we got WandaVision and the other stuff.
Yeah,
but,
and then you start dipping your toes into the rest of the shit. Like,
right, but
I do like watching.
It took them a year
movies
to get that additional content.
Yeah.
I mean, almost 2, because you had 2 seasons of Mandalorian before the new shit.
And so I think they're being really smart with their behind the scenes and
basically
like DVD extra stuff that they have. These whole, like, I watched
that is great.
Like the stuff about the volume, and you just had all these actors like talking about it, all the different like people that are working on it talking about it. And then I ended up watching like 2 more episodes of this behind the scene whatever. And it was cool.
Yeah, they have a new one. They have a new full behind the scenes coming out this Friday about the making of WandaVision.
Yep.
And then it's like Winter Soldier and Captain America. So it's like, well, because, but anyway, this is not supposed to be about that. But yeah, that's my point. So it drives you to it. A tentpole thing can keep you on there and then keep getting your money. That's the whole point. Halo definitely could be that, because you're going to get all the gaming audience that loved Halo.
Yeah.
And that is, I'm sure, hundreds of millions. Like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
I just hope it's not too late.
What do you mean?
Like
the people are like, I'm over this.
That were teenagers playing Halo have kids and other fucking responsibilities now. Like,
right. Like, that's,
I mean, we
are the teenagers that were there when Halo, like, we were there for Halo 1.
Just because we don't have kids yet doesn't mean that.
But we're the age group that they're aiming, because it's like, oh, you have jobs, you could pay for the streaming service.
Yeah.
But then it's like, but if I have to pick that or like
anything else?
No, it was I was gonna say breast milk, but formula is what you pay for. You don't pay for breast milk unless maybe you do. But
I wasn't even talking money. I'm just talking like,
I'm talking about for like diapers
time
for kids
and effort,
shit like that.
Like,
right, but like if you have kids, like my money goes to getting life needs for my child. You're
making great points.
Yeah.
You're saying money. I'm talking time. Where it's like, you're watching the Wiggles now, buddy. You don't have a choice.
Yeah. That kid's only asleep for X number of hours. Like, and when I do that, it's like, do I want to watch Halo?
Priorities.
Or I already have Netflix, so I watch one of the 1,000 things on Netflix or whatever the fuck. It's like, I'll get to it when I can. This also kind of brings up, do you think, I was hoping this would be a quick conversation, but do you think this will kind of bring back the whole torrenting aspect, which, not that it went away, but I feel like with the stuff streaming, I feel like it has kind of gone down, because like, we're providing you this easier, like $5 a month. It's $5 a month. You'll get all the stuff that you're in a torrent, but it saves you the time of doing the illegal activity and all this shit. So I feel like a lot of people stop torrenting because of that. But I feel like if this is going to go to essentially cable again, then it's like you're creating the same monster that people were like, I don't want to pay for HBO to watch Game of Thrones, so I'm going to torrent it. Yeah. And it's like, now it's going to be like, Halo is going to be like, do I want Paramount Plus, or am I going to just fucking torrent Halo and stuff? So it's like those parents that are like, I'll save $1. I'll buy the diapers because I can't torrent diapers. Yeah. Maybe you could 3D print diapers. I don't know.
Yeah. It's also getting into
that'd be itchy.
Like the whole internet age conundrum where like the guy that made pop-up ads was working for an ad company, and he was like, oh, people don't want to see, like,
when you say that, it made me remind me of MTV, and I was like, or VH1, I was like, pop-up video.
Yeah. Pop-up video. But no, basically he ended up saying, like, from a larger philosophical standpoint, he's like, we might have made the wrong decision with like the internet being free.
Oh, that's what they're trying to take away from them.
It should have been a paid thing from the beginning, and then you pay for what you want. And it's like,
that's the whole point of net neutrality. That is the whole point of net neutrality.
Yes, but
because you have to pay for websites to even go to, like, you buy them like cable packages. That's what net neutrality is.
He's saying you should still pay for it as like a utility that you can get to places,
right?
But all the websites shouldn't be free.
That's what I'm saying. That's what net neutrality is. Net neutrality.
Well, net neutrality is also trying to throttle people.
It's throttling your internet, but it's also denying it. It's like, I can't go to Google unless I buy the Google package. Just like I can't go to Facebook. I have to buy the Facebook. Like, it's like HBO.
Yeah,
like you have to buy, and you do that. Then it's like, and then if you can't access the free sites, unless you have free plus, those are like, you only get 15 megabytes on those sites as opposed to 50 or whatever. So it's like, it's all that shit, and it confuses people because it's called net neutrality. So people were always like, I'm for or against it. It's like, you want the net to be neutral. That is what you want.
Yeah.
You want everybody to be on the same playing field, because that's how it was built and how it was, and that's the best for the user. So that's what they kind of tried to
it
fight
was
back.
the best for the user, but now it's like, if you're being
now it just is best for the user.
If you're being given all these ads and you're becoming the product, that's not necessarily the best for you.
But it doesn't make a difference. It's not about that. The net neutrality is just.
I'm not trying to go into the net neutrality. Right. You are. I'm trying to finish my original thought.
No, I got it about pop-up ads. My point was that
it's
net
not about
neutrality is always.
I just introduced it with that.
I know, but my point about net neutrality is it's just business or user. Those are the two sides of it. It's comments or commerce or individual, I guess. But yeah, so like, for just long story short, you want to be for net neutrality. You want the net to be neutral. You don't want to pay for that extra shit.
Okay, so you finished your point on that?
Yeah, just pointing that out. But it was about that pop-up ad thing. That's where it came from.
So the point that he was making is that maybe we should have been paying for websites the whole time. Not access to the websites, but Facebook should have been a paid service.
Right, but that's part of net neutrality.
Should have been a paid service.
That's all part of net neutrality. That's my point.
I disagree.
It's a fact. It is a literal fact. It's on paper in a bill.
Yeah, but net neutrality has like so much other stuff wrapped in.
It is, but that's still part of it.
Access, with speed, with stuff.
Right, but that's also part of it. That's like saying
it's part of it. I'm talking about a part of it, and you're trying to wrap up the whole damn thing in with it. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to separate apart and talk about that.
That's fine, but I'm saying you're also talking about net neutrality by talking about it.
Great.
Net neutrality is the container. You're talking about an object inside the container.
Yes. So
that's all.
That object. He was arguing that maybe we should have been paying for it all along, so that we're not being turned into the thing. And I think, to get back to what I was trying to say fucking 20 minutes ago, is that TV and all that is going to have to start contending with that too, because they're like, we were this ad platform, but then we started charging people to access this ad platform. And then we started charging for like premium packages where they were still being showed the same amount of ads. Sirius had the same fucking problem where they're like, hey, it's free radio, ad free. And then they played ads on it and people were like, fuck you.
Yeah.
This isn't what we paid for. And they're going to have to contend with that once they start wrapping all this stuff up together. Cause that's what YouTube video does, where it's like,
unless you buy,
we're giving you this like fucking $60 shit, or you have to pay $60 for what should be free TV. And then they're still showing you fucking ads, and it's
that's why it's like,
what are you guys doing?
Well, that's why you get YouTube Premium or Red, what was called Red, where you get no ads.
Well, it's no ads on YouTube videos, but if they're airing local stations, you're still getting all those local ads.
Well,
or if you're watching football, you're still getting the football ads.
Well, you're talking about like cable now, not YouTube.
But it's YouTube Premium or whatever.
You're talking about YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But you still get because it's basically just getting you the signal of the channel, which is just still has ads on it.
They're gonna have to contend with that. People aren't gonna keep paying a fucking premium price
that's
to
fair.
Still see the old bullshit.
Well, that's like what Hulu did, right? Initially, it was like Hulu, and then Hulu no ads, and then it was like Hulu limited ads, where it's like, well, we can't really. It's like there's no ads on some things, but some things even though you pay for this, have a limited ad. So it's just in the beginning, it's 30 seconds. That's it. There's nothing in. So then it was kind of like, but I paid for the no ad service.
Yeah.
And you're giving me ads. That was the one thing
if
I will say.
Start
HBO
making their own content. They would have died.
That's one thing that like HBO kind of always did well. There's never ads on HBO. The only ads are in between when the movie ends, and it's like trailers for other HBO shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which isn't really an ad. It's not like buy Viagra or something.
No, it's trailers. It's like when you go to the movies and see.
Right. Which is, I would say, is fine.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like now we interrupt your thing because Hulu Plus or whatever the fuck does it. Yeah, I agree with that. That's
good. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but like that, I mean, that's like, again, like the whole premise of how would you even do that is like, but
they're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be messy, and it's not gonna be a simple answer. And we're gonna do this shit where they're gonna package.
Well,
it
unless
up
they
together,
get direct
gonna feel
feeds,
like,
I guess. Like YouTube gets a direct channel for the Flyers game, so then it's like, well, you have YouTube Plus, so that channel is not going to get ads.
Yeah,
but you have to pay YouTube TV Plus, meaning to use the YouTube TV Plus channel. But then it's like you still have you're gonna have that fucking 15-second delay, because that's part of my thing. Is like I don't want that 15-second, especially if I'm seeing those fucking ads still.
Yeah,
it's like I don't want the 15-second delay. So you need to, which also there's no reason for that delay at all. They're still running through coax cables. Like we have higher speeds on the HDMI and the Cat7 cables that you're running YouTube through. So why the fuck is there a delay? And long short answer, because you guys made one. Yeah, because it's because the cable companies own the networks which are broadcasting the feed, and they delay it on purpose to have a reason.
I doubt it's YouTube's fault.
And no, it's but no, I'm saying it's the networks and the cable fault.
Yeah.
They're purposely delaying the signal to be like where it's like still in the same feed that it's like you can get access to. We're not denying access, but we're still giving a reason why cable should be before YouTube because of we don't have this delay, but it's a created delay. You made that delay.
Yeah, it's artificial.
Like they don't have
That's
to make
where
the
net neutrality problems come in, where it's like you're paying for stuff, but still being
you're still being like
you're
strangled.
not paying for it the way that we want you to pay for it.
Right. And it's like now pay for this for the one that you really think it is. And that's like now I have 4 bills for the thing I thought was the one bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's bullshit. But and yeah, so that's all that is. But speaking of paying an outlandish amount for things, brought it back. Which I don't know if it's actually outlandish, but Fall Guys was bought. Fall Guys, specifically the developer behind Fall Guys, Mediatonic, which was founded by 2 students. Pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Was bought by Epic Games. The smash hit Fall Guys, we've talked about a lot. I'm sure you've seen on streaming and all that kind of shit. It's been excellent. It's on all the platforms now. But Epic Games has officially purchased Mediatonic, which is pretty fucking cool for a company that's founded by just 2 people, just right out of the university, and they make this game that obviously became huge. And then they obviously got more employees, so it wasn't just 2 people. But that to me, they went to Brunel, which is in London. Okay, I would say. It has offices in London, Brighton, and Madrid, so all European, no US. I want to say that's like the American dream, but obviously it's not an American company. But the essence of it is the American dream. Yeah, that like 2 found, which is like I'm saying the American dream, but I'm really using it as like doesn't have to be like exactly capitalist dream. It's more of like the entrepreneurs, like the young entrepreneurs dream. Me and my friend made some games that we did out of college.
I feel like idiots going to college, you dumbasses.
Yeah, and it's like we made some game out of college, and we get bought by this massive conglomerate that's like I'm trying to find the full purchase price, but I'm sure it wasn't like $1. So like it's like, but that's the thing. It's like, and that also shows you like you did something great. Like they bought you because, and you know what, the game is fucking great.
Yeah. Does it say anything about like creative control and all that?
So it's unclear if they have plans on release on a mobile version outside China, but they did. Epic Games acquisition is bound to compliance matters given the ongoing legal battles with Apple, blah, blah, blah. Because remember, Epic Games is kind of kicked off of Apple.
Oh, right.
Because of Fortnite stuff. So now it's like, is this going to have to fuck with it or not? Blah, blah. A lot of this is more about, there's not a ton on it. It just says, as Epic works to build the virtual future, we need to get great creative talent who know how to build powerful games, content, and experiences. That was pretty much like their response to everything.
You know what I'm excited about?
Yeah, I expect Epic Games to handle Fall Guys in the same way as it did Rocket League to get the game on major platforms, enable crossplay when sales reach the ceiling, ultimately go free to play in order to maximize the audience. That was a games analyst said that. What was your feeling?
I'm excited that the guy that handles all the IP stuff for Fortnite is going
do it for Fall Guys,
be just released on Fall Guys.
That fucking dude that guy balls out. He's like, yo, we got the fucking Iron Man in Fall Guys now.
Now they're not going to be just like alluding to things. It's going to be like straight up like, now you're R2D2.
Yeah, you're right. They're definitely going to get that
play
guy
the
on.
Fuck out of R2D2.
Yeah,
especially if he didn't have arms. It was just
it would be be like true to form. But they'll. But how would you just have that? But how would he eat? He eats with like the claw.
Yeah.
Either
that little claw, or it's just like Phantom Hands, where like it still is obviously happening, but you can't see it.
So what they seem to do is put costumes on the skeleton. Yes. So they'd be wearing R2 skeleton costume, like a Halloween, like a kid in the Halloween.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm saying that I would love it to be a special version of it where they're like, we understand that you're still supposed to have arms, but you're not going to, just to stay true to this character's form. You can still grab, but it's going to be like this invisible hand grab.
Yeah, that's fair. But so this is, I mean, it's interesting. So now I think you got Rocket League. Everything is also them. Fortnite and Fall Guys. They're kind of taking I don't want to say monopoly, but like that style of game is kind of like they're gonna build it out the same way.
They're doing what EA wants
they would
to
buy out like Valorant. They're not going to because it's owned by Riot, which is like the largest game company. But and as we talked about before, they tried to make Battleborn, which is similar to Overwatch and Valorant. But that seems to be the thing, which they obviously know because they built Battleborn and suck. That's still the missing piece of the puzzle. Because I feel like they get that, then it's like now you have all the you have the largest gaming audience.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do only multiplayer, because they still don't really have like the single player experiences.
No, and I don't think they're ever really going to sink a lot of effort into that, especially if they're doing these.
They do have games that have
to purchase
experiences.
Yeah. But they're not going to sink as much resources into it as they're going to do these free to play, extra pay for add-ons type thing. Which is
I think
like
they've built their industry to not do that.
Huge. They're doing what EA wants to, where EA keeps trying to like, again, if you paid for the motherfucker, stop getting us to pay more.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah.
If you're going to give it to us for free and then like peddle some shit in the background, great. We have an understanding here.
Yeah.
But I'm not paying twice for the same fucking shit.
Yeah. I will say they technically are one of the, there's multiple developers, but they are one of the developers on Gears of War. So that's obviously a single, but there is a multiplayer, but I think they only did 1, 2, and 3. So I think they stopped. But so it's like they kind of moved towards. I was just quickly going through the list because I was like, I think they closed down everything that's like exactly what you're saying. That's not part of this. Like, well, let's go for these multiplayer, free to play, loot crate, fucking microtransaction games, and just get in every style we could possibly think of. So that way, no matter what kind of gamer you are, we have your wallet on some of our games. On one of our games, you are feeding into. I mean, they make a fuckload of money about it. So it's like, Fortnite makes fuckloads of money.
Good God.
Yeah. So it's like, and still somehow. So, I mean, but to be honest, like outside of that, and that will help with their servers getting overwhelmed. And like, remember they got better at it, but like with Epic's resources, they know how to distribute users over servers.
Yep.
Because all of their games incorporating anti-cheat software, they're pretty good with that. I expect those kind of things to pick up. So like this is good for the user and it's great for the people that sell it. I would probably be like, I'm done. If I was the guy who made Fall Guys, I'd be like, I'm just taking my check and going home. It's going to turn into the game that I didn't make eventually. And I just want to be like, I want to leave it when I did it.
That's my biggest fear with this is like, we started off saying that it was kind of like the American dream, the capitalist dream, but it's also kind of the capitalist nightmare where it's like you just have these giant companies buying up everything that was special and turning it into whatever, which I mean, we'll see how it goes. It feels like Epic's kind of hit their stride where they know what they are. They're not over promising on stuff that they can't deliver, which is nice.
Yeah. They don't, they know their identity and they have fully, and this move and previous other moves is we bought into it.
Yeah.
And this is just who we are now.
Yeah. So
which is fine.
As long as they don't like start selling people's fucking data for ads and shit, like, because I can see that
like,
too,
as long as they don't, it's like, who says they're not? I mean, like that shit,
they very well could be.
Definitely are part of it. That has to be part of this microtransaction thing. Is like, oh, we're getting X%. This age group is buying these type of skins or this kind of costume. So
which it's like, if you're saying age group, great. If you're like selling someone's actual fucking data to push ads to them, that's when it gets a little sketchy. And
I saw you about that R2D2 skin. Here's the whole, Star Wars on sale.
The Blu-ray pack of all that bullshit.
Yeah, you're right. But it is nice that they just know who they are and they're not really pretending they're somebody else.
Yeah.
Like EA, for example. So let's go into that. So I will say that EA is getting better. But EA can never admit they're the asshole. They just, or at least I don't think
EA's hand was forced.
Yeah, but I don't think they are. I don't know if it's their fault that they can't admit they're the asshole, because I think they do. I think at that company they don't have a sense of identity, to be honest, because they're all over the place. Like with Madden, Chell, but then they do like the Star Wars Battlefield. Then they treat all these games differently. But then they got Need for Speed. But then they treat Battlefield like its own fucking thing. Battlefield is the only one of the games that feels like I'm not here just to take more money from you. It feels like I'm here to, like, I gave you a game, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like they're really with the latest one, they're really in buying into making the new Battlefield because it's been a long time. Something incredible because they took all the devs off of the new Need for Speed project and put them all on Battlefield. Now, for the record, and this is one thing I do like to confirm as an engineer, just because you know that coding language, I don't know what that the engine uses, but let's say C# for sake of argument, because that's like what Unity uses. You can move to other projects using C#, but you still have to understand the code base and the libraries they're using and the physics engine and all this other shit. There'll be a lot of similarities, but there's different best practices, code bases. Yeah. Just moving one engineer to a new project, they're not immediately effective that day. It's going to still take them a couple weeks to kind of pick up. But this tells me two things. One, they either really believe in Battlefield 6 and they want it to be great. Two, they're worried as shit Battlefield 6 is not great, and they're putting all hands on deck to ensure it is. And then I guess three, they're not really that committed to Need for Speed, because that's another property that's obviously a long-running franchise. I mean, it's existed like my whole life, I feel like, right? Or at least most of it. The movie sucked, but Aaron Paul was fun. I feel like people forgot there was a movie.
You said it, and I was like, huh, I do kind of.
It was Aaron Paul from Breaking. It was like supposed to be his action star breakout. It's kind of like, oh, could have been a better movie though.
Yeah,
but he was cool in a Mustang. Which was basically just gone in 60 seconds. But that one is great because it was Nicolas Cage. But anyways, so it's either telling me that something is in trouble or not. So, and that means the general consensus told. But so the chief, which they knew, for the record, EA had the consciousness that like people are going to think this. So Laura Millie, Miele, is that Millie? It feels like it's probably French.
Miele. Yeah.
Millier. That feels like it would be like a Miele.
Miele. Yeah.
It feels like it's like a French name.
It might probably have two L's if it was French.
Okay. Well, and it's Laura is his first name, but she's the EA Chief Studios Officer, Laura Millier.
Miele.
Well, I think we've established that I can't pronounce shit. I've spelled it. You know who I'm talking about. So
sorry for butchering your name.
So she basically told Polygon, which is, Polygon is a gaming like rag.
Polygon?
You would call them like a gaming rag, like a news site. That Battlefield and Need for Speed are not in trouble. There is no way we would have made a decision like this without including Criterion, who's doing the development, and discussing this with them first and the impact that could have on Battlefield. They've worked on Star Wars Battlefront. They've worked on all the Battlefields, and they were really a tight, collaborative partnership with DICE. DICE is who makes Battlefield. Criterion is who does the Need for Speed games. Okay. But Criterion has helped out on previous Battlefields and Star Wars Battlefronts. So it's like they do have an understanding. So anyways, unless they had a really tight, close, collaborative partnership with DICE, I'm really confident that this is going to be a pretty positive win for them. And as far as the Need for Speed franchise goes, she told Polygon that Criterion owns the Need for Speed franchise, which is why they managed the recent remaster of Need for Speed Hot Pursuit and why the studio is responsible for the next project in the series. And so basically, it's neither Battlefield franchise or Need for Speed franchise are in trouble. That's at least the press they're putting out there, which is fine. But if they're not in trouble and all that, why did you need the extra hands? That seems to be. It's like you're not answering the question that was asked. You're answering the question you wanted to be asked.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, which I guess is a political tactic. They're like, don't answer the question asked, answer the question that you want to answer.
And just any kind of argument tactic.
Right. Answer the question you want to basically drive the argument to, or that you want to say. And then everybody who's not paying attention is like, okay, thanks. But everybody is paying attention is like, well, that's great, but that was bloated bullshit. Like, so, and again, what was the next point? An urgent solution for Battlefield, which is expected for this holiday, was needed as the potential for the project has and the difficulty in developing a game during a pandemic for work from home conditions. So it's like you go on to say there's no trouble, but you're saying, well, it was needed because there was difficulty in developing the game. It's like, that sounds like it was kind of in trouble.
Needed for speeded.
Yeah, they needed the speed. Like that's what Battlefield just need for speed. So making games is one of the most sophisticated and complicated forms of media that exist, and it requires creative. And it requires creative energy and connection to team members. Millier said. I think there's been, fatigue and some burnout working from home. A lot of that is even to do with just the needs that people have with their families. Need for speeds. Some people are taking care of their kids at home. Some of our home productivity is not as high, and then the creative connection, the creative energy isn't as high when they're working from home. She continued and said that rather than pushing for the next Need for Speed game out this year at a time when it might be cannibalized by a Codemasters racing game, because there's another racing game come out, Criterion's efforts are better suited for working on the next Battlefield at the moment.
I feel like that's kind of a crock of shit.
Yeah, it's like, well, to me, that's almost saying like the opposite.
Home, especially working from home with like
kids.
Well, but no, like any kind of coding based thing. I think
I can answer those questions.
is they basically can't like overwork you and keep you there for 12 hours because like your other things that you have to do in your life are right there in front of you, and you're like,
I would say actually, to be honest, I actually say this is the industry that's actually the hardest to work from home in, because I actually agree with what she's saying. Because, and my thing is, when you're in coding and stuff like that and you're working on it, it's, what time it is when they'll leave the office. It's 5 o'clock. When to leave. And unless they're pushing you on crunch time, not letting you leave, you still leave because you're like, I got to pick my kids up.
Yeah.
The problem is when you work from home, especially being a software engineer, when you're developing all day, you get in the zone. It's almost like a runner's high, you might think of it as, but like a coder's high.
Yeah.
I look down, I look up, it's like playing any video game. It's been 8 hours, 10 hours. I've had so many days where I
believe it's called flow state.
Yeah, sure. And you get in that, and all of a sudden it's 12 hours later.
Yeah.
And it's because you're so focused, but you're also not like, oh, I have to go home. You're home. So like, while you can get interrupted, you also always feel like you're always at work now.
Yeah.
That's the problem. There's no separation church and state. There's no separation of work and home. You're now always home, but you're always working. It's like they're one and one.
Yeah.
So you almost work. And I would say from my experience, especially during the COVID pandemic, from what I've noticed from the engineers that I work with and myself, is we're putting in way more hours than we ever did before.
That's kind of what I'm saying, is that like you can't complain that stuff's going slower in development.
But she's saying fatigue and burnout, and I think that's really real. I think you're getting more burnout and fatigue because of because now your average day is now 10 to 11 hours as opposed to 8, because you're like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to beat traffic, blah, blah, blah. So I do see how that could be. I do think it's bullshit saying like they can't get it done. It's like, well, you're putting more time in. That's true. But at the same time, it could also lead to more burnout stuff because you're not sleeping as much. And like you get an email at 10 p.m. and you're like, oh, I'll do this real quick. And then it's like, what? I've had so many of those when I'm about to go to bed, like 10 or something.
Yep.
And I get an email because we have a team in India or a team in Australia.
Yeah.
And it's day for them. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to deal with this at 8 a.m. I'll just do it right now. Next thing you know, it's 1 a.m. And I just did 3 hours of work. Yep. And it's kind of, then I still got to do my meetings at 8 a.m. So it's kind of like,
I think it's very real from the worker's standpoint.
Yeah.
I think it is a scapegoat for
like
someone in charge to say,
okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. So I was trying to bring a real face to it that like I think engineers really are getting burned out because of this. Yeah. And it's not that they're not working hard enough. That's what I thought you were saying, is like, how are they getting burned out? So they're not really working because all your stuff is there. I was like, no, it's because they probably are working more.
Yeah.
But it's kind of almost like a facade crunch time, because you're doing it yourself. Now I can't speak for everybody. Everybody's different. I can just say for me and engineers I know, it's like I've gotten more like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. emails and questions on like Microsoft Teams or whatever than I did when we were pre-pandemic, because they were home and not on those things. But now they're home and they're on those things because that is the office.
Yeah. And a lot of people,
and I'm sure that's a lot of
the board. Yeah.
Sure. I'm just saying, because we're specifically talking, it's like this, I can like personally discuss this because this is my life.
Yeah.
But I do think it's kind of scapegoat. And I kind of like, I again, I'm not trying to like talk shit on EA, but I feel like it's kind of a mixed message when you're saying neither Battlefield franchise and Need for Speed are in trouble, but then you're saying we were worried about missing the holiday date because of fatigue and burnout.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking from a business standpoint, I would assume you think the franchise is in trouble when you can't hit your delivery date.
Yeah.
So by pulling in a second hole developer to hit your delivery date,
there could be a problem.
It feels like that is or you're preemptively solving a problem that would exist, and it's like, or just move the fucking date.
Yep.
But it's like, no, we can't move the date. But I will say if this is their solution to not have crunch, be like, well, we're not going to add more people, we're just going to add more hours for the people, which is what crunch time is. The last 2 months you want to like kill yourself because you're like slamming your head through the mall. Don't ever do that. Well, suicide hotline, all that stuff. Like I know you're not supposed to. I'm saying that like like a meta, like not actually to do that.
Hyperbole.
Yes. I was like, fill it out for me, Sage. But like, I'm not like, nor would I ever suggest
no
that.
one's gotten a vocab word yet today. Yeah. So,
and I'm not suggesting that there's suicide hotlines everywhere. Just to confirm, that's what we're promoting. Okay, I got to get out of that hole, but that's what I'm saying.
Hyperbole, speaking in an exaggerated manner.
Yes.
Hyperbole. Don't ask me to spell it. Hyperbole.
Use it.
Hyperbole. Hyperbole.
What or country of origin? It's.
I believe Latin.
Yeah. Well, that's just a bullshit thing for anything.
No, there's Greek, there's Anglo,
but that's not country of origin. That's whatever. But so, anyways, back to this.
Latvia. What?
No, not Latvia. But anyways, so for this, it's kind of like maybe that's their way of not having crunch. Is like we added more developers to help you out now before the last month, so we can kind of. Assuming we doubled up the team, there will be no need for crunch because now we're getting more stuff like that. I can see how that is, and I can see why that would mean
it just feels we don't have bananas,
right? We don't. Okay, but it's like we don't have a problem, but it's like you did have a problem and you're just solving it this way.
Yes,
but just say that. Well, that's fine. It's like we were worried we had too much to do, not enough people, so we got this on because we know there's another big competitive racing game out, so we figure we just have the remaster come out. We can have the next Need for Speed come out next year and focus that we deliver the best gaming experience possible for the new Battlefield.
Yeah.
I could have been the PR for because that was better to me than blaming this on workers getting burnout and fatigue and their kids.
Yeah,
because that's kind of what it fucking seems like, and
that's
it's like
exactly what it seems.
And it's like maybe I read it wrong, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. To me, that's kind of like a bullshit thing because it's like it's not our fault. It's because people have families.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're right. Yeah, fuck those people. Those people suck. It's like
the fact that we've been doing this for years doesn't come into play at all. But.
Yeah. And like, they're fucking too busy giving their kids all that potassium from those fucking bananas. Speaking of which, because we had to use that. Speaking of which, let's talk about patents, our favorite part of the game here. Which
patent time.
It almost could be a segment. Like it feels like not only patents almost becoming a segment, specifically Sony patents. I swear to God, there's a new Sony patent daily. They it was so quiet, and now it's like every week of 2021.
If we talk about them next week, it's just going to become part of the thing.
Yeah, it has to. So Sony has a new patent. It's actually pretty fucking awesome. It is basically a way of turning bananas, mugs, and more into PlayStation controllers, but specifically bananas, and that is directly mentioned in the patent, into a controller. So basically, you hold it up, and the camera will visualize and identify the controller and put like AR buttons on the banana. So everybody's like, "What does this mean for the PlayStation exclusive Ape Escape? Like, how does the banana controller come into that?" But that is pretty much the great thing. It would be desirable for a user to could use an inexpensive, simple, and non-electronic device as a video game peripheral. Right, I got that wrong last time. And like that's like what was a inexpensive non-electronic device? Everybody's first thought is obviously banana.
Yeah.
And it was Sony's too, so you're all in the same boat. So basically, it uses a camera that scans the object in the system to detect which could then be used for in-game specific functions. Any household objects and even fruit, specifically bananas again, but it could be your mug or just any kind of object that you could hold with essentially both hands or treat as a controller could be treated.
Sounds dumb as fuck.
The patent picture is awesome, and it's figure 8, and
it
is a banana. And it, for the record, it only has an X and a triangle button.
Yeah.
But I mean, when your patent not only mentions bananas, but then you have an illustration of a banana as a controller, I mean, that's all time.
Yeah.
And basically, it has a finger detector and all that. So kind of probably using some of the same things the VR controllers are using in like the Oculus and the Index. But yeah, figure 8 illustrates semantically an example of how the non-luminous object, banana, may appear to the user when one or more virtual buttons have been superimposed on the top of the user's view of the object. The patent reads, and it's like all that sounds like super intense. You see the picture, it's like we're just talking about a fucking object. It's like, what are you talking about? We're talking about a banana, and they're Like they're not talking about the other options. This is specifically describing, this is how Sony describes in a patent a banana. Like, which is awesome. And you see like a person holding this and just like, it's like 806, and 802 is the banana. It's just like, it's awesome.
The reference numbers.
It is it's so cool. They've been dominating the patent game with these crazy ass ideas. And to me, it's like, hey, they're trying to get innovative as shit. And it's like, that is fucking awesome. And it would be cool because, I mean, controllers are like $60. They're like a game. It's like to do the controllers now. So it's like you do one inexpensive way of doing this. So that would be one pretty awesome thing. But yeah, banana as a controller.
Do you have anything else to talk about? Because this is the best segue that we've had yet. And I'm ruining it by explaining that it's a segue.
I was just going to say, did you have anything more to add on the fruit?
Nope. Well, I think it's dumb. We'll see how it plays out.
I mean, I think it is cool.
Now you're just making patents for fun.
Yeah.
You got a new patent lawyer in your office. But it is good for like families busy work.
Who can't afford like $60 controllers of a cool way. Is like, well, you probably got bananas.
So they're going to just buy a system and a camera, no controllers, and then play with a fucking banana.
But if one breaks and you want
like,
a friend to play.
I think it's dumb as shit.
I get that, but like, you know, like some games, it's like, oh, you might friend come over.
When you throw a controller, it's going to be a lot more fun.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Let's give Snoop Dogg a banana next time he plays Madden. See how it goes. No, Snoop Dogg was going to turn his fucking like weed into a controller. It's like, no, you smoke that shit when he gets mad. Yeah. All right, so let's transition to whatever
be a bong controller.
Yeah. Is this a trivia?
Yeah, so this is going to be a little different than it usually is.
Ooh, little different than it usually is. Trivia.
So both of us are going to guess prices, and then I'm going to have you look them up because I don't have any device to do so. So we're just going to go down, and then we'll look the things up afterwards. So don't look them up as I'm talking to you about them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Prices for controllers and other peripheria.
Okay, I have to find a new trivia.
Well, no, it'll be for both of us because we gotta end soon anyway.
Sage has a date.
Yes.
No, he doesn't. He's just annoying. I actually have the date with the Flyers. That's what it is.
Joy-Con black.
Okay, well, I don't see color, so number one. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Nintendo does, and they price it differently.
It's good. Bad joke. Whatever. Fuck off. I keep getting. I'm like arguing with myself in my head. Okay, so Joy-Con is the name of the Nintendo Switch one.
Yes.
I've never had to buy a new one. Is this just the one, like left or right, or is it both?
Both.
Just for the record.
Both with the little
like, hooks thing on it. I don't know, it's a Switch, probably $25.99.
Okay. I'm going $79.99.
Holy shit. Is that the whole Switch? No, you're just doing the Joy-Con part, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
PS4.
Oh, wait, is it $79 or we're gonna look at the price?
We're gonna look it up.
Okay.
PS4 DualShock.
DualShock 4, because PS4 had two controllers.
Yes.
DualShock 4. $50. All right. $45.99. It was a one-time price, but $50 was general price.
All right.
I bought 7 of them, so I can tell you that one.
Yeah. I'm gonna go $39.99.
Well, hold up. Are you talking about the price at release or today?
Current price.
Oh, well, that's bullshit. It's probably like $40 then, yeah. Because I was thinking like what it was when the system was the main system, because that's when it's going to cost the most. Like the PS5 controller costs more today.
We're going to look up prices in a second here. What do you think they are?
Okay, fine. Well, then that kind of changes my thing.
Okay, so you're going 40.
I would say $40, yeah.
All right. PS5 DualSense.
$60.
I'm going $59.99. We'll just say that it's 60. Yeah. PlayStation camera. Is it the Move?
Which one? They're different names for the 4 and 5.
The 4.
The 4's camera?
Yeah.
Okay, so PlayStation 4 camera.
Yeah.
We can just call it because it's the iToy or something like that.
Yeah.
Or PlayStation 4 i. The 5 is just called PlayStation 5 camera or PlayStation camera.
Yep. I'm going 120.
Which one is this?
The PlayStation 4 one.
$40.
Okay. the Switch Pro controller.
$59.99.
All right, I'm going 70.
Okay.
Xbox One.
$40, maybe 35. $40.
I'm going 50. Shit, what'd you say for the Switch Pro controller?
$59.99.
All right,
like
cool.
$60
Cool.
much.
And then whatever the new Xbox controller,
Xbox Series X controller.
Yes, but it's S or X, right? They don't have a separate one for, or do they?
No, because they didn't do like what the DualSense does, where it's like specific to the generation. So it's like $50 probably.
Okay. And I am also going 50 for that. All right. So you want to do some lookups for us?
Sure. You didn't ask what the PlayStation 5 camera was.
What's PlayStation 5 camera?
What did I say for the 4?
40.
All right, 50.
All right. I'm going to go 80.
Okay. You said the 4 was 120 for the record.
Yeah. Well,
they got cheaper.
If I changed it now, then it would be 60, but I already said it.
All right. So which one am I looking at first?
Joy-Con Black on Nintendo's website.
Nintendo Joy-Con Black. Not Amazon.
And do you want to do Amazon to make it fair?
I feel like Amazon is where everybody buys things.
Okay, fine. Amazon, yep.
Then I also don't have to keep leaving it for.
Yes, I agree.
$79.99. Oh wait, no. Black.
Yep.
69 flat.
Okay.
What did I say?
29.
Way off. What'd you say?
$79.99.
Yeah, like I've never bought a controller for it. So it's like I was like when you said that I was like fuck me.
PS4 DualShock. We both said 40.
I know I have to get to the Sony one because like on Amazon they have like all the fucking like 50 other ones.
That was my worry about going to Amazon, but I still think it'll be easier in the end.
Yeah. Well,
maybe not.
Well, no, you said I'm gonna say black DualShock 4.
Yes,
because the colors are like different.
More expensive.
Yeah. Okay, let me look up black. Like the red one, for example, was like $60.
Yeah.
All right, so black DualShock 4 wireless controller there.
Oh, what we got? What do we got?
That's not from. I have to go to Sony's
there it
website.
is. Never mind.
Yeah, I might have to go to Sony's website.
Yeah,
it's like a bunch of like
because that's the thing too.
It's all a bunch
like
of third-party sellers there.
Yeah, that and when Amazon has like a surplus, they drop a price, so it's not like their actual retail price. It's just their warehouse price, which, yeah.
So let me get to PS4 real quick.
PS4, the PlayStation Store. For the PlayStation 4.
All right.
Controller.
Buy now.
Well, she won't. Get it.
Okay, brand new from the Sony store is $59.99.
Oh, damn. We were both wrong.
Yeah. Well, I was higher, and then I was like, oh, it's probably lower, but I was wrong. Yeah, that was stupid. Because isn't that what I said for the PS5 controller?
PS5, you said 60.
Well, $59.99.
Okay, cool. So we both got that right.
Well, no, I didn't look that up. I'm saying if that's what the PS4 controller is, my assumption is it's probably going to be.
We've decided the 99 is not going to be.
So
the
do you want to know that?
factor.
I have the DualSense one.
Yes.
I think I actually did know this.
What is it?
70, $69.99.
Okay.
Well, at least we were closer in that one.
So we're both wrong.
We should have known. You should have known because that's pretty much the Joy-Con.
Yeah. How about the cameras? Sorry, everyone. I thought this was going to be more straightforward, but I guess
it's a pain in the ass.
They're really
making
you work to buy the stuff.
Yeah, when you go through their website, it's like I always go to Amazon. So I didn't realize how much easier Amazon makes shit.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot.
Yep, they know what they're doing.
It's almost like everybody should use Amazon.
Yeah, it really should just be like an interface after a certain point.
To go to Amazon for they don't seem to sell.
That's the other thing too. It's like,
are they
still selling?
They don't sell They don't sell the camera from the website, so I have to go to Amazon.
No, that kind of makes sense because it's like not the newest best thing.
Yeah, I'll look.
And same thing happens when you go to like buy a car. They're not like, hey, do you want the 2013 version? Got that new boy.
All right, Sony PS4 camera. Is this from? It looks like it's from a real seller. $84.90.
Okay. So I was technically closer, although we were both pretty far off.
Yeah. Well, were you?
I said 120. 84 is closer to 120 than to 40.
By like $4. Yeah. Fuck. I forgot what you said, and I was like, how much closer were you? All right, so now let's look at the PlayStation 5 camera, correct?
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 camera. Oh my, you gotta be killing me. Okay, it is sold on the website. I was like, really? You're not selling that one? All right. What did you say? What did I say?
I said 80. You said 50.
It is 60. So I was closer.
Yes, you were.
That's right, baby. Well, it's $59.99.
There you go. All right. Well, we got the Xbox controllers and then also the Switch Pro controller.
All right. Just hold your horses. All right. This is like an exhilarating trivia time for people. This is the longest trivia. We might have to just cut some of this.
We might cut a little bit out.
Yeah. All right. Where the fuck is buy shit?
Buy shit. I mean, it's probably actually less time than me sitting here trying to figure out the MBDs, if we're being honest. Because I spend a lot of time
when you're like
just sitting there brain farting.
So you do like to fart, yeah. All right. Just a normal black wireless controller, I'm guessing.
Yep.
All right. Is this for Series X? Oh, actually, you know what?
Are they all the same?
Xbox One controllers are Series X controllers. I have the answer. So
yeah,
I'll just tell you that it's $59.99.
$59.99.
What did I say? What did you say?
You said 40. I said 50. And then we both said 50
for the other one.
Yeah,
that might be a wash.
There we go. And then what's the Switch Pro controller?
Okay. We didn't ask him like about the connector. Yeah, I don't even think they do the connector anymore.
No.
All right. So Nintendo. Just Switch. It's called Switch Pro.
Yeah. That's the one that like doesn't break up into two of them, but
right. It's like almost closer to the other thing. Yeah. All right, I got it.
Okay.
What do you want to do? What did we say?
I said 70. You said 60.
Damn. $69.99.
Nice.
Pretty close. That one is. It's crazy that's the exact same price as the. I think, or was it $10 cheaper than the Joy-Con, or about the same? I think I said the Joy-Con was. Oh wait, no. Amazon. See,
yeah,
Amazon has it. Amazon has it for $59 flat. And what did I say? 60. So I would be winning in that situation, and that's from the Nintendo store. This is not a third-party seller.
You said 59. I said 70.
Yeah, 59 flat is what it has.
All right. Well, then we're 4-4.
All right, pretty good. That was fun. That was fun. I mean, it was long.
Yeah,
that was like a long thing, the long journey to take. But
it's hard to.
But I was literally going to ask game controller prices, and I was starting to look them up. And then when you're like, "Don't look up anything," I was like, "All right." You're like, "Don't look up." I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "I'll just look up my thing." And I just was typing it in, except I went to Atari. Because I was going to go like guess the. I've then when you said that, I was like, maybe if I had time, I was going to be like, I'll give you a controller, guess the console.
So
I like that. Kind of like the trackball. Yeah. It'd be like the original Atari or something like that. But then we didn't get there. But like obviously like DualShock. It's like DualSense is only PS5, but DualShock could be multiple. So if I said DualShock 4, you'd probably be like, oh, PlayStation 4.
Duck Pistol, Super Nintendo.
So yeah, I should have known the Xbox controller is kind of agnostic because you use it on your PC as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that was dumb.
Ooh, agnostic. Look at you with the vocab.
That's right, baby. I have to use it all the time at work. It's got to be OS agnostic. Oh. But anyways, and on that note, that lovely time. Thanks for gaming with us, being glad, talking about all that kind of shit. I think we got serious, got a little funny, got a little heartwarming. Maybe
we went all over the place.
Went all over. Learned a lot.
Thanks for coming on the adventure, guys.
Thanks. Thanks for the journey. It's almost
that was so
like
much
a halo
nicer than our last
ring. That has a nice halo ring to it.
Hey,
glad you came. Bye. That was fucking terrible. Bye.
Later.